Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a sweet and gentle girl named Cinderella. She lived with her stepmother and two stepsisters after her beloved mother passed away. Her father, who had remarried hoping to give her a new family, also passed away soon after. From that day forward, Cinderella's life became very difficult. Her stepmother was cold and cruel, and her stepsisters were vain and unkind. While they wore fine dresses and spent their days gossiping and pampering themselves, Cinderella was forced to do all the housework. She scrubbed the floors, cleaned the fireplace, cooked the meals, and mended their clothes from morning till night. Despite the harshness of her life, Cinderella never complained. She always remained kind, gentle, and hopeful. She sang while she worked and treated even the animals around her with love. Birds, mice, and other creatures became her closest friends, and they adored her for her warm heart. One day, a royal messenger arrived in the village with big news. The king had invited all the young women in the land to a grand ball at the palace. The prince was looking for someone to marry, and every maiden was welcome. Cinderella's heart fluttered with excitement. "May I go to the ball too?" she asked her stepmother politely. Her stepmother sneered, "Only if you finish all your chores and find something suitable to wear." Cinderella worked tirelessly, finishing every task. With the help of her animal friends, she even transformed her late mother's old dress into something beautiful. But when her stepsisters saw her dressed up, they tore her gown to shreds out of jealousy and stormed off to the ball, leaving her behind in tears. Cinderella ran to the garden and wept under a tree. As she cried, a gentle light appeared before her. It was her fairy godmother. "You've been so kind and patient, my dear," the fairy godmother said softly. "You deserve to go to the ball." With a wave of her wand, the fairy godmother turned a pumpkin into a glittering golden carriage, mice into elegant horses, and Cinderella's torn dress into a dazzling gown of silver and blue. On her feet appeared sparkling glass slippers. "But remember," said the fairy godmother, "you must return home before the clock strikes midnight, or the magic will wear off." Cinderella promised and climbed into the carriage, her heart full of wonder and hope. At the ball, everyone was enchanted by the mysterious girl who appeared in such beauty and grace. The prince couldn't take his eyes off her. They danced together all night, talking and laughing as if no one else existed. But as the clock neared midnight, Cinderella remembered the fairy godmother's warning. She quickly fled the palace, losing one of her glass slippers on the grand staircase. The prince ran after her, but she vanished into the night before he could catch her. The next day, the prince declared that he would marry the girl whose foot fit the glass slipper. He and his royal guards visited every house in the kingdom, trying the slipper on each young woman. When they arrived at Cinderella's house, her stepsisters eagerly tried to squeeze their feet into the delicate shoe, but it was no use. Then Cinderella, dressed in her usual humble clothes, asked quietly, "May I try?" Her stepmother scoffed. She didn't go to the ball. But the royal guard insisted, and as soon as Cinderella slipped her foot into the shoe, it fit perfectly. The room fell silent. Then, to everyone's shock, she pulled the other slipper from her pocket. The prince returned and was overjoyed to find his mystery girl. He knew her kind eyes and gentle voice anywhere. He took her hand and asked her to marry him. Cinderella forgave her stepmother and stepsisters for their cruelty and chose to leave behind the pain of her past. She moved to the palace, where she was loved not for her beauty, but for her grace, kindness, and gentle heart. Moral of the story: kindness, patience, and goodness will be rewarded. Cinderella endured hardship with grace, and in the end, her gentle spirit and goodness led her to happiness.